caption. Me and my team, we so heroic, there's no opponent that can take us down.
Welcome to another edition to the Superfan Addicts Podcast. I'm your host, Ray Showdawg Prisby, and boy, do we have a show for y'all tonight. So let's get started by introducing the starting lineup. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your pierogies and Bud Light, because charging out onto the field without a helmet and never sober is the president of the West Browns backer, Danny Cleveland. If screaming at the TV was a sport, he'd be a Hall of Famer. Give it up for the only guy who calls 911 when we don't draft a lineman, Danny freaking Cleveland. Ladies and gentlemen, fire up your grills and your dog pound spirit. It's time to meet the culinary king of Cleveland. He's not just out here whipping up 5-star meals, he's also cooking up hot takes on his podcast, Honor the Land. This man loves the Browns so much, he probably seasons his briskets with orange and brown tears from the '86 AFC Championship game. Give it up for the one, the only, Chef Zay, where the food is fire, his takes are spicy, and the loyalty to Cleveland is well done. Last and certainly not least, make some noise for the man who got more Browns gear than the team stored during a fire sale. Anthony, the burner Turner. He's the only guy who tailgates in his sleep and once painted his lawn orange just to piss off his Raven neighbors. He's been barking so loud on Sundays, the local dogs formed a union. Burner's fantasy team, all Browns. His ringtone, a Myles Garrett stat. His life motto, Super Bowl or bust. And he's been bust since 1955. Give it up for the one, the only dog pound largest legend, Anthony Burner Turner. How's everybody doing tonight?
Feeling good.
Everybody good. So what we're going to do real quick before we get into the show, I'm going to go around the room, let everybody introduce themselves. If you got anything going on with your neighborhood or charities or anything, now is the time to talk about it. Tony, go ahead. You go first.
Hey, this has been a Browns fan since 1966. Oh, man. Hey, I love them so much that they could be losing 50-0 with 5 minutes to go, and I still think they got a chance to win. No charities right now.
Okay. Danny Cleveland. I know you the president of the West Bank Browns backers. I know you always got something going on.
Yeah. So president of the West Park Browns backers out of PJ McIntyre's in the west side of Cleveland. And we do fundraisers every year, big fundraisers for the Cleveland Food Bank. And my first introduction, where I first remember anything with the Cleveland Browns, was 1980 Browns playoff game against the Oakland Raiders. Jim Plunkett was the quarterback, and that was the Red Right 88 day. And the thing I could tell you about that is I remember sitting there watching it with my dad, and as soon as he threw that interception, a tear came down my dad's eye. He stood up and went to bed, didn't say a word. So that was my first introduction. And I'm like, I remember thinking to myself, wow, that game made my dad sad. So, I mean, that was my introduction.
All righty, Chef. What you got over there? I know you're cooking up something, Chef.
Season's tomorrow. We kick off our commentary live reaction. You guys already know how that's going. Bob, he might get a whooping tomorrow. We're gonna see, depending on how Fedora do. But just ready for the season, and hopefully we can get more than 3 wins this year. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, needless to say, this show is mostly all about the door.
I like that.
Let's get it cracking. So, being that Shador has been named the starter for the game, which, you know, that caught a lot of us by surprise because he was the fourth starter, but we all know how injuries happen, and one thing led to another, and now he's starting. So I got a couple questions, but the first question I want to pose to you guys is this. What do you think his stat line? What do you guys think his stat line is going to be tomorrow? I'm gonna go with you first, Chef. What you thinking? What do you think his stat line might be tomorrow?
You want crazy optimism, or you want to be on Earth?
I want whatever you want to give us right now. That's what we're gonna take. So if you want crazy, we'll take crazy. Goddamn. I mean,
I'll go a little humble. We're gonna go like 17 of 22. He'll have a touchdown, no interceptions, but I think he'll make all the right decisions. Okay, I'll take that one. Tony T, what do you think the stat line might be tomorrow for Showdawg?
I think he's going to complete 70% of his passing. I think in the car settle down, he might throw one interception, but near the middle part of it, he's going to show he is the man for the job. Okay. Danny, what you thinking? What you thinking about his stat line tomorrow?
So did they? I'm curious. Did any Stefanski or Barry say how long he was going to play, or they just going to run him out there the whole time?
I've been hearing he's going to play the whole first half. That's what I've been hearing. Now, I don't know if that's official or not, but that's what I've been hearing.
Okay, I'm going to go 14 for 19, 135 yards and a touchdown.
Okay. I mean, that's respectable for. I guess I'll be the one that goes outrageous. I think he's going to go 20 or 25, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions.
Here's the thing, though, Ray. I don't think they're going to let him. And hear me out on this. This is what I want to say. This is the part that bothers me. I was at the game. I was at training camp on Saturday, and I watched the corners collapse on Gabriel. That guy couldn't see. He was lost back there. He didn't know to go left or right because he couldn't see over the guys in front of him. And they were collapsing around the corners on him. But since that was the 3rd round pick, he's going to get all the opportunities, whether he deserves them or not. That's just my take on it.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, it is what it is, and you know, I'm sick of these conspiracy theories that they're setting him up and this and that, and it's like you draft a guy to set. Then why draft him in the first place? I mean, come on, at least make a little bit of sense. But hey, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to let you go. You know the main reason why he got drafted. What happened when they drafted? This is what I believe. When they drafted Gabriel, Haslam went home, and his co-owner D asked him, "Why didn't you guys draft Showdawg?" He said, "We wanted Gabriel." She threw the pillow at him and said, "Go sleep in the guest room." When he came back to work the next day, he said, "Get Showdawg," because he didn't want to sleep in the guest room.
Okay, I mean, I guess that's one believable scenario. But wait a minute, Haslam kind of put a kibosh on that theory because he came out and said that he ain't have nothing to do with that pick. He put it all on Andrew Berry. Remember, he just said that. That was what, last week he came out and said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, though. I think that was a genius pick because, and correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't Showdawg supposed to go in the 1st round?
He's supposed to go 2 to us.
Yeah.
Hey, I agree with you on that. You know, all the experts, all the best analysts said he was basically the top quarterback in the draft.
Yeah.
And everybody passed on him for what reason? So the Browns got a steal with him.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which is why he looks better than Dylan Gabriel.
So do you guys know what came out on him after why he fell so far? I don't know if you guys heard this on why he fell so far in the draft.
From the Giants?
Not just from anybody. Why nobody was picking him up.
They said he was bad in his interviews.
Yeah. So what happened was instead of coming out and saying, "I'm not playing for your team," right? He sabotaged the interviews of the teams he didn't want to play for. But, you know, here's the thing about the NFL, and you guys watch draft day. All those GMs know each other, right? They all know each other. So that word got out that, you know, he came in with headphones on and an entourage. It was just his way of saying, like, I'm going to do this interview, but I don't want to play for you, so I'm going to sabotage this, right?
See, I don't even believe that. I don't even. No, I don't.
Well, here's the right. It's got to be something of that nature, and the only reason why I say that he fell way too far, way too far.
Yeah, because his dad went on national TV and said, "I will not allow him to play for certain teams." His dad sabotaged, in my opinion, sabotaged the whole thing for him. Because wait, just check this out real quick. Dion had it was a pre-draft visit with the Giants, and they said, I know y'all probably heard the story before, but they gave him like a phone book, and they said, "This is the playbook," and he said, wait, where do y'all draft at? And I think they said 10 or 11. He said, "Oh no," he threw it down. He's like, "I'm gonna be gone before you guys," and he left. And it just so happened them same Giants is the one that came out and said that his son. So it sounds like to me that was some retribution. But again, who knows though?
I think that's a perfect example of the difference between the NBA and the NFL, and that the logo of the NBA is the player, where the player has a lot of control, and no player in the NFL is bigger than the shield. They like to set examples of people. So that's just if we go in any type of route, I mean, you got to look at it as this is some kind of an example from going number 2 overall or top 5 to 5th round. That just doesn't happen.
But Chef, I will say this. I think Lonzo Ball's father, what's his dad's name? I think he hurt their draft.
Lonzo still went 2.
Oh, did he? Maybe I'm thinking of something. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm resetting that. It was more about he ruined his Nike deal or something like that because Nike wasn't offering enough money. Something to that nature.
Okay.
But
here's the thing. One thing I heard today on the Browns Daily, it seems like no underlying, like maybe he might be struggling a little bit, Shador, in team meetings, possibly what they saying. So I know one thing in the draft, what they do when they bring you in sometime, they might put a play on the board, tell you to figure it out. And possibly he might have been slow on that. And that might have been the thing why teams was staying away from him. But we all have seen in training camp, every day he has improved. Even when he's going against the third team, he's passing the ball, man. He's doing well.
Okay. So it seems we brought back an all new friend, Tyler Huntley. Woo, man. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I've always liked, especially the way he when he played for the Ravens, he always gave us fits, and he always came in, and it was almost like, other than the speed, to me he was a better passer than Lamar. So I was glad to see him come in. So my question to you guys is, do you guys think that he's a better fit than Pickett or even Flacco at this point? But mainly Pickett though. Go ahead, Dan. I'm gonna let you go first. Do you think Huntley is a better fit than Pickett?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Pickett, mainly, and I hate to bring it up. People think I'm crazy for talking about hand size in the NFL, but how many fumbles has he lost in the cold weather and stuff like that? Like from what I understand, he's got a normal hand size, a normal man of that. Like, it's nothing outrageous. I personally love Flacco. I just like that. My opinion right now is, if you start Flacco day 1, he's good for 6 or 7 games. I think 6 or 7 wins, not just games. I think he's good for 6 or 7 wins. The one thing that we don't want to be fed as Browns fans, again, because we went through it too many times, is a rebuild, another rebuild. And I will throw this out there because maybe you guys can tell me. I know Ray and Anthony and Chef Zay, you guys do some in-depth stuff. Here's my thing that I brought up, and nobody can give me an answer to. if Stefanski and Barry are so good, how are you still ranked 32nd 6 years in? 32nd. They're ranked 32nd. And I think it flips between us and New Orleans, but it's 31-32. How? 6 years in, you're 31 and 32?
32nd in what?
Ranked, NFL ranked. Like they're picking.
Oh, the ranking of people where you look at them. Okay.
That was based from last year's record.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I'm
coming off the year before, I'm pretty sure we weren't ranked 32nd.
Yeah, but that team to the east that I can't stand, it doesn't matter. They could have no quarterback going into the draft or coming out of the draft, and they'll never be close to the 30s, ever. And
Are
yet,
you talking about Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like, how are you 6 years in still that high up in a ranking? Or that low is what I mean, that low in a ranking. I think with Garrett and your defense, you should be, 17, 18, 19 at least? That's what I think.
Well, if we look at last year, the offense, they just had so many blunders as far as penalties, jumping offside, doing 3 and out, just kind of wearing the defense out. So I think that's why the statistics is real high on that. That brings a point with Showdawg for tomorrow night. I think the key thing for him, he got to be able to get the plays in, get those guys out of the huddle, and try not to make any mistakes with things. And the players, we're going to see what the players' responses are the next day on what type of huddle command he has. Because the players going to let the coaches know, hey, man, this cat knows what he's doing. Even if he throw 2 interceptions, I hope he don't. I think he's going to be 70%. But that's going to be the key point. And let me say something about Huntley. The Browns already decided they don't want Huntley. Somebody in that office do not want Huntley. Because I think it was between him and
ETR.
Yeah. He was a better quarterback than him. And they got rid of him. And I think you see the history of the Browns, you see their players that seem like some personality conflict. They seem like they have it out for those players. Same like Kareem Hunt. Seemed like there was somebody in that office that did not care for Kareem Hunt. And that's why they moved on with him.
Well, to me, those are more moneyball moves. But let's get back on topic. Chef Zay, what you think? What you think about the? Is Huntley a better fit than Pickett?
This is just for show. This is to get through the preseason game tomorrow because of the hamstring injuries that Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel have. This is nothing more than that. Tyler Huntley's not going to have a shot at this roster. I would be stunned if he does, especially just after he had the opportunity to be the backup last year. He lost out to DTR, and then we can't forget he went to Miami and ended up beating us at home. So I think this is just all for the body for tomorrow. And then after that, we're going to be seeing a lot of Kenny Pickett and a lot of Dylan Gabriel, I imagine.
Right. Okay. Tony.
Yes.
What you think?
Well, I think Pickett, man, I think they're going to try to make it work for him. With the hamstring pull, he's going to have a problem getting in that lineup. But I think I would like to keep Pickett instead of Huntley.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
That was an involuntary. I don't know what I was doing.
That's all right. That's okay. That's just the way I feel about it.
Hey,
I agree with you though, Tony, on that sense though. I would much rather have Kenny Pickett than Tyler Huntley.
Well, I think the age factor is probably makes more sense. But here's the problem though. Nobody's gonna pay Pickett his 5th-year option.
I think in terms of the style of offense, Kenny Pickett fits the offense that Stefanski runs way better than what Huntley would do, in my opinion. But, like Mary Kay said, she tweeted out, she said, all these quarterbacks on the roster, there's only one Pro Bowler, and that's Tyler Huntley.
Oh, that is right. That is right.
Well, I personally, I hope they go back to, what do they call that? The 22. Remember they ran that with Mayfield with the two tight end set. I think we need to get back to that.
Well,
You're going to see a lot of that this year with Fannin.
With Fane, with the way he's emerging.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the two light
him and Njoku. That, I mean, how do you can't stop that?
No, and if you got a good running game too, it's on.
Yeah.
So next topic, the Browns recently signed a tight end, a running back, a wide receiver, Keenan Isaac, Bucky Williams, Toa Tua, I think I got it right, and claimed two other players. Of all those guys, do you think any of these guys have a legitimate shot, or are they just training camp bodies? Go ahead, Danny. I'll let you go first.
So from what I hear of that Toa Tua, I heard he's a stud, an absolute stud. And in the end, from the guy I talked to at training camp, he's going to be a steal for us. The other guys I'm not too tuned into, but that Toa Tua is going to be really good from what I'm being told.
Okay. Chef, what you got cooking over there?
Probably not much on this one. If anybody would probably have a shot, it probably would be Toa, just off of the strength that they need a bell cow back. I mean, right now it's looking like Jerome Ford. We're going to assume that Junkins is probably going to be out 4 to 6 games in that range, if I had to guess, which means you're left with Dylan Sampson and Pierre Strong, which they love Pierre Strong, by the way. But if you're going to run this wide scheme and short yardage situations, like, it would have been nice to have 2-4 back there. But unfortunately, we're in this situation. So if they do keep an extra running back, but they've got way more problems right now than worrying about signing these guys. They've got to worry about what they're going to do with this 4 quarterback room. They got to worry about who in this receiving room is going to make it with Gage Lavargin, however you say his last name, and then Luke Floria. Those two are fighting for a spot, seeing as though DeAndre Carter that they brought in from Chicago, he's going to be looking like he's going to be part of the getting snaps on the offense, not just the punt return and kick return game. So we'll see him in the receiving core as well. So there's other positions that they probably have more focus on. I would imagine the running back, you may see Toa on that practice squad type feel.
Is that? I think that's Toa, right? Yeah, that's him right there.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
So Chef, real quick, there's an update. So, and I didn't have it came after I sent this out to you guys, but the update was Jerkins' lawyer.
He waived it.
He put the trial not until next year, which a couple other guys have done. So that allowed them to play all this year, and then whatever happens will happen next year. So I don't know.
About that came out, but yeah, what that happened, and more than likely we'll probably see him week 1, and then next year he'll get suspended.
Right. Although
the only thing I don't like about that is, based on everything with the Watson and everything, he's going to take hell at games, even from our own home fans. I'm sorry. I think it's going to happen. I don't think they're just going to start clapping for him when he comes on the field.
The second he scores a touchdown, he'll be all right.
This is a little different because this is more like Kareem Hunt than it is Watson, because it was only one girl, and her story is falling apart as day by day. Not saying
one thing that will, no matter how much the story fall apart,
he still put his hands on her. Right.
But let me ask you guys this real quick though. Wouldn't you rather do it now and get it over with? What if we're like building and we lose him for 4 to 6 games next year, and we really turn the corner and we're ready to emerge? Why? My thing is this: it's going to take him a while to get acclimated. Why have him get acclimated this whole year and then turn around and start the season? He's on a 4 to 6 game suspension. Possibly.
I think he's going to get suspended after he signed the contract because he violated NFL policy. Although he wasn't a player. But they can't come back and get him the next year. Well, they might do a double. I just think, just to keep the nature of the NFL, he had a charge against him. Although he didn't push it off with a court, I believe he's going to get suspended for 4 games this year after he signed a contract.
Which would probably be best case scenario, honestly.
Yeah.
Right.
But the one thing I will say about him, real quick, not to get too far ahead, but I read a whole article on him, and I didn't know the problems he had at Ole Miss. Not the domestic violence stuff, but like other protocols with the team and all that stuff.
Yeah, and to add to that, I'm glad you mentioned that, Danny. He did show the same attitude because I found out the only reason he went to Ohio State because he was negotiating, trying to get that NIL money with Ole Miss. He wanted more money from them, and they wouldn't give it to him. And that's how he got moved over to Ohio State because they paid him more money. And it looked like it's deja vu. 2nd round pick, he trying to get more bonus money, guarantee money. Hey, he don't have nothing to stand on now. He better hope he get a contract with the Browns.
Yeah.
Thank you, Angel, because this is all allegedly. So I don't think the NFL can suspend him until a ruling is made in the courts. I don't think.
Yeah.
But I'm not a lawyer, so what do I know?
And you're not Roger Cordell.
Yeah.
So check this out, guys. The betting odds are 44% that Showdawg will be cut before week 1. God,
that is blasphemy.
They ain't giving him no love. So the question, I guess.
Where's that at?
Where's what?
Where's that stat at? Who has that? Like, where's this number coming from?
I pulled it up off of what I always do. I find my questions. I Google latest Cleveland Browns stories. I just Google that, and this was one of the stories that popped up.
44%. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, 44. So I guess my question, gentlemen, is that too high or is that too low, or do you just think it's straight bullshit? I mean,
I think it's bullshit.
All right, well, Danny, go on with it. Go on, Danny. Go on with it. What you think?
I've watched Dylan Gabriel, but the thing is, like, I could think he's not a starting quarterback all I want. They're going to run him into the dirt trying to prove that they made the right choice at the 3rd round. But I could tell you this, his 3rd round, the last 4 years is horrendous. Perrion Winfrey, Mike Hall Jr.,
Mike Hall's a stud, though. I still got faith in Mike. You don't just get Aaron Donald comparisons if you're not a stud.
Yeah, but I mean, who was the other? Dang it, who was last year?
Last year was Mike Hall, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Mike Hall Jr. But who was it? Perrion Winfrey and then
Anthony Schwartz.
I don't know. For me, I just think that Stefanski and Barry, and I know he's the GM and he's the coach, they try and reinvent the wheel. I had a conversation. I think, Ray, you were there. I was talking to Hanford Dixon one day up at PJ McIntyre's, right? And I'm going to tell you what he told me. This is what I don't understand about the Cleveland Browns. He said, Danny, I played defense my whole career. I said, yeah. He says, you'll never get me to understand going for it on 4th and 1 in a shotgun formation with an empty backfield. Like, just the play calling in general. Like, if you have Chubb or if I'm telling you, if they were in charge of Jim Brown and we had Jim Brown from that era playing now, he'd be on the sideline on 4th and 1. I don't understand some of that play calling. It makes no sense to me. And from what I'm told, they're punching this crap into a computer and they're telling them what to run. Them analytics guys up in the booth.
Right.
I would tell you what Gruden said when that analytics stuff first coming out, right? Gruden wanted to call play. The 4 guys the Raiders had up in the booth for analytics, they're like, no, this is the odds of this working. It's going to be good, right? And he went with the play. He's like, don't ever get on the phone again. I don't want to hear you in my headset the rest of the game.
Okay.
So
Tony, what do you think? You think that's too high, too low? Or
Well,
straight BS?
You know, one thing, Tony Grossi, he's been saying this throughout the whole training camp, that Andrew Berry is going to keeps his rookies. And he got a good deal right now to even keep Showdawg and Dylan because he got that 4-year contract, the way I understand it. But no, and the word people have used with Showdawg, he's a good asset. Even if he's don't pan out the way they want him in the system, he is going to be good trade bait to trade him to another team. But after tomorrow night, he's going to show them this is your quarterback for the future. Always remember, Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick, and they look like he wasn't going to make the team. And you know he has gained the title as the GOAT. Man, we got a diamond with Showdawg, man. He's going to show it tomorrow night. He's going to rise for the occasion.
Okay, Chef, what you got?
What's the question?
Was that 44%? Is that too high, too low, or is it some straight bullshit? I mean, bull stuff.
That is the dumbest article I think that might have been generated. There's been a lot of BS this offseason with the Cleveland Browns, but that one by far might take the cake. 44%.
Hey,
nah.
hold my beer because I got one that's worse than that later on. But just
I'd be willing to bet whatever that does not happen. He's not getting cut in any multiverse that I can see.
Right. Okay. So this next one is near and dear to my heart because this is one of the first things that I said when we drafted Showdawg. I said for Showdawg to really be accepted by the team, by the city, at some point, some way, he's going to have to tell it. He's going to have to publicly tell his dad, hey, I'm going to need you to stay away. I got this, blah, 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 blah. And lo and behold, the other day, I guess the question was asked because Dion had went and visited the son down in Tampa Bay. So I guess they were asking, was he going to come and visit him up in Cleveland? And Showdawg basically told him, no, I told Dad to stay away. I'm not where I'm at right now. I don't want you to see me like this right now. So my question to you guys is, do you think in terms of Showdawg winning over the city, the players, the fans, do you think that was the right move? Go ahead, Chef. I'll let you go first.
Oh yeah, it's funny because like everything that they painted about Shedeur Sanders has been the complete opposite. Shedeur has done everything right. That from besides the speeding tickets, I mean the getting involved with the community, the comments of why he's getting involved with the community, rather that it's easy just to send the money, but you got to actually be there. To the humbling experience of knowing that you're going to go in the top 5 to falling to 5 and taking it on the chin and acting as if it never happened. And then coming into the building and from day one, from first one in the building, last one out, like just he it's almost as if like he was built in a NFL factory like Deion Sanders is doing to him, and he was just primed for this moment. Now, I always wondered in the back of my head, how would he have responded if he did go number 2? I think we see a little bit of different Shedeur, and I think this was the best case scenario. And if the Browns were ever going to find themselves a franchise quarterback, the road was never going to be easy. How ironic would it be that you had an opportunity and you were at number 2, where all of the talk was to go get Shedeur. He falls, you take a guy in the 3rd round, and then you still end up getting Shedeur, and he turns out to be the franchise quarterback after being the 4th round. It has Browns is the Browns written all over it. So I'm here for the story. I think Shedeur is going to be fantastic. He's played his hand perfectly, and all he's got to do is capitalize on this opportunity, and it's on.
Okay. Tony, what you think?
Well, somebody had reported that Dion was at that first practice they had for the fans. I think it was Friday. It was a Friday practice. I think it was on the 25th of July, I believe. But hey, maybe if he's feeling a little nervous on his ability and he wants to have his skills proven a little bit more better, maybe it might be wise for him to stay away from his dad. Hey, you know what? He is the fan favorite. Every day, it's a Shedeur. people want to know about Showdawg. What is he doing? And Tony Grossi, he had mentioned earlier, he did not want to draft him because he didn't want all the hype. But he have said, man, he's been a model player, doing what he's supposed to do, answering the questions correctly. So from that point, I think he just wanted to keep his dad away. So maybe not to have that pressure of him watching him.
I want to know if he's going to be there tomorrow. That's my big question.
Okay.
I don't see how
Hey,
he's not.
check this. I'm gonna ask you guys.
Hold on.
If your son,
Tony, hold on.
I'm sorry.
Let me get Danny first. Go ahead, and then I'll come back to you, Tony. Go ahead, Danny.
That's my son's first game in the NFL. I'm going to be there.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So wait, is he on the sidelines or is he in the stands?
He's up in a loge somewhere.
Yeah, he ain't on the field. His son, I don't think even if he was allowed to do that, I don't think Showdawg would allow him to do that, knowing how Showdawg is and how he already told him, like, Pops, you ain't coming, you can't even come to the practices. He wouldn't even allow him to come on the sideline.
No.
Right. So I guess then this segues into the next question. Other than Showdawg, what other position battles are you guys watching tomorrow night? Go ahead, Danny. We'll start with you first.
I can't wait to see that fan in that tight end if they let him in there at all. I think he's going to obviously be a starter, but I wonder how much time they'll let him see. You know what I mean? Our starting offensive line, I don't think they're playing, correct? Or are they getting in there for? I didn't see the layout. They're not going to play at all. Yeah. So. It's hard for me to say. And the problem I have with this, right, let's be honest, and I know we're not going to see their number one defense, but can you really judge?
No, we actually are seeing their number one defense. They already said it.
All right, and then here's the problem with that. So their number one defense versus our backup offensive line, and we're going to judge Showdawg off that? That's not fair.
It's going to make it that much sweeter when he tear your ass up.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
Right.
Plus, here's the thing, though, Danny. He already has continuity with the second team. That's what he's been playing with since he started training camp. It's
Deontay Johnson revenge game.
Yeah.
He's been playing with the two.
Good point. I didn't realize that.
What's that?
Deontay Johnson, former team is the Panthers. He gonna cut up tomorrow.
Right. Exactly.
And that leads to my point. I want to say I wanted to look at the wide receivers. Because their two starters, they say, are not playing.
Tillman and Judy.
Yeah, they're not going to play. And just tell me the name of the wide receiver begin with an L. I can't pronounce his name.
Luke Florian, Menor.
Man, he's been tearing up in camp. I like to see him. And really, I want to see my rookie linebacker because he seemed like a beast. I want to see him play, and I want to see the defensive tackle, see what he's going to do.
So I was going to ask you guys this real quick. Did you, when Jordan Hicks retired last week, did you ever, they interviewed his wife. Did you guys see that story?
No.
Where the wife was like, I hear somebody, the keys jiggling, and in walks Jordan Hicks, and she's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I retired. Like, he didn't even give that information to his wife.
Wow.
That's because this Carson Schlesinger is about to be. I made a video last week putting my stamp on it. He's our Luke Kuechly. He has Luke Kuechly written all over him. I don't remember who it was on the radio, but there was a guy they had on there, and he said that it was hard to judge the tape when you turned on Carson Schlesinger's school because he was everywhere to try to evaluate other defensive players. It's like you were trying to evaluate them, but every time you did, Carson was in the play making something happen. This guy is a football fanatic. He has a knack for the ball. And honestly, he moving differently. So I can't wait. Browns fans have waited years for a linebacker like that. I know we had Christian Kirksey. I know we had Joe Schobert. I know we had DeQuell Jackson and Andre Davis, but we ain't never had nothing like what JOK was supposed to be and what Carson Schlesinger is going to be. He's going to be a problem.
So wait, hold up, Chef. So you saying this is the rebirth of Clay Matthews?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Wow.
I'm
here
thinking.
for it all.
That'd be
I'm
great.
here for it
I'm
all.
thinking he's gonna be like. We should look over on that defense, and there's Myles Garrett. He's going down. You got the Joe Thomases, the Joe Haydens of the world. We're gonna look up 10 years from now and be like, we've had a stud in the middle of this backing room for 10 years. He should retire a Brown, no question. They should never let him walk.
So then I guess to answer your question, Chef, you're going to be watching to see what this young linebacker does tomorrow.
Not just tomorrow, the entire he's grown to probably be my favorite player right now, just off of the expectation I've seen. I went to a couple of training camps, and he was in at least 2 highlights a day. So I'm definitely watching him. But I'm surprised you didn't mention the one name on the offensive side of the ball in our receiving room. Jamari Thrash is going to get a big opportunity tomorrow along with Deontay Johnson. And we saw Jamari Thrash make a lot of plays in these training camps, especially some one-on-ones. It seems as if the quarterbacks can trust him. Jamari Thrash has an opportunity to put a stamp on this offense, and they have him listed as the number 1 slot right now. So I'm interested to see if him and Shador are going to connect or who's going to have that connection. But Luke Floria, he should be a guy that makes this team.
That's my dude. That dude. It seems like every highlight with Shador, he's catching the ball. That's who catches the ball.
Somebody mentioned earlier about how does Shador command the huddle. We actually had Luke Flory on Honor the Land a few weeks ago, and we asked that question, like, what's Shador like in the huddle? And he talked about how calm he is and how he lifts up the mood. Like, he said he used the example. He said, being a rookie and undrafted and that stuff, like guys are a little tense and uptight. And Shador just comes in the huddle and he's like, yo, twin, what we going to do on our celebration? Like, just breaking the mood. He already has that command for the huddle. So I'm excited to see it. I already know what to expect, honestly. Shador is going to thrive, right? It's perfect timing.
Okay. Well, hey, this is where we pause for a minute and we do. Well, Cody is the producer that you guys don't see, but he always has a man cave spotlight for us. So what you got for us? What you got for us tonight, Cody?
Welcome to another episode of Man Cave Moments.
Hit.
Respect to the baker. Respect.
He got the chairs and everything. Oh, snap.
All right.
Well, all right.
That's
All right.
That was fire.
Yeah, well, okay, so this I'm gonna jump to the Tony Grossi question, Cody. This is for you, Chef. So I'm not gonna mention any names, but a reporter, Tony Grossi, he feels that when Shador came out with the soreness in his shoulder and everything, he basically spun it to it's Shador's fault because wait for it, he's coming in early and he's leaving late. So so I'm like, wait, stop. I needed to hear it again. The reason basically Tony Grossi blames Shador for the soreness because he was showing up early, because he's doing all the extra work that rookies are supposed to be doing. So I don't even know how I got through that without laughing. But I'm gonna go to you first, Chef, because you said you hadn't heard anything as ridiculous as that last question. Did this one meet the test, or did this come in under the wire for you?
I wish. I wonder if Joe Flacco heard that question, because Joe Flacco has doubled down on his take of how soft it is now. Like, I grew up in a tough era, but I know y'all are before my time, and I know that era is probably just as tough as the era that I grew up in. But we grew up where it was like 2 days, maybe even 3 days, hard nosed tackles, like pads, like big pads, neck braces, the whole nine, right? Joe Flacco, the first time, was like, man. He's like, these practices are easy. Like, I'm expecting a couple 2-a-days. Like, we are only out here for an hour. Then he had another press conference just like the other day talking about, he's like, I wish I could prove to people that I can go out here for 3 hours and not just this hour stuff. Like, hearing this whole, what are we talking about? They play football for an hour and a half, 2 hours a day. The rest is all stuff that they're doing on their side. Like, if you would have came to practice and said, hey, my shoulder's sore in the 90s, you would have got laughed at and probably cut right on the spot. I'm low-key tired of the I don't want to say softness, because I don't think these players are soft, but the NFL has gotten soft in some retrospects, and I think this is just one of those cases where it's like, that is the softest comment that I've probably heard in a long time.
Like Sherman soft.
Yeah, that's or like cotton ball soft, the kind that, I get this feeling when I do cotton balls, I gotta like squeeze it because it makes it's a weird feeling, that kind of soft.
Okay, Danny, what's your take on your favorite reporter, Tony Grossi?
Well, here's my thing on the situation, right? What's the one thing that would keep Shador out? Let's say he had like a little bit of a bug, or he ate something that didn't agree with, right? He can't go and say, I got to sit out this one. My stomach's not doing too good, or I'm not feeling too good. The only way you get out of that throwing and all that is to say, hey, shoulder's a little sore. You get what I'm saying? I don't think his shoulder is sore. Like, he might have just not. I mean, those guys have been going hard. He's been going especially hard, right? And the only way to like make sure that you're not going to get sick, or you're not going to further the sickness, is you're going to use your position. Like, if his arm hurts, right? They're definitely not going to have him throw. You get what I'm saying? But if he had like stomach issues or ate something that didn't agree with him, they're still going to make him go out there. They're going to pump him full of Pepto, and he's going out there in that practice. You get what I'm saying? How many times have you guys showed up for work and you're like, yeah, today ain't my day, and it's not, you don't work as hard or as you did the day before.
Right.
I think these boys are scarred, man. Shoulder injuries are in Cleveland. Just, it's scary.
Tony T.
Yeah. Hey, one thing about football players, there's two types. All the football players, they play hurt, but you don't play injured. So you got some type of soreness of it. And Tony Grossi, man, he's talking about who the Browns what quarterback they're going to get next year. He just saying none of these guys are going to be here next year. That's what he's talking about. They're looking for next year. But one thing that has happened, I don't know if you heard this. This is the first time in Stefanski camp that he had live tackling. All his other previous season, he never had live tackling.
Or they started late. Actually, you're 100% right on that. I didn't mean to cut you off. I got a guy, the grounds crew supervisor. He's my uncle. He told me that exact same thing after he said, you know what's crazy? That was the first time that he can remember in a long time that they started practicing and tackling that early in the training camp. They have not done it.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's hopefully somebody's saying that they need to get that toughness, because last year, man, they was missing so many tackles. They were so soft. That's how they lost a lot of games. So they having a little bit of toughness. Tony Grossi, he is not in favor of Shador. And today on the show, he got Rizzo so mad at him because he said, Rizzo told him, you biased against Shador. He got so mad, he just cut him off. He didn't want to talk to him anymore. But that's going to change tomorrow. He's going to see Shador as a quarterback.
Well, here's the thing, though. Tony Grossi isn't biased to Shador. He's biased to the Browns. Ever since the Browns got him fired back in whatever it was that, the 90s? Whatever it was, and he lost his job at the PD, all he does is churn out negative takes on the Browns. That's all he does.
That sounds like Darryl Ryder.
Well, Del Ryder says Gabriel's not an NFL quarterback.
So
I slightly agree with him on that.
Hey, hold that thought, guys, because that takes us into my next question.
But one thing before you go, I wanted to say it, Tony. You made a good point, man. Isn't it funny how exactly what you said? Like players play hurt, not injured. Who came in this building and set the tone the second he came into this building? That it's weakness, it's contagious. If you not fucking hurt, you gotta practice.
Jarvis Landry.
Jarvis Landry, really, we need a Jarvis Landry on this team to get these guys in line. Like, if you're not hurt, you got to practice. You can't get better on the sideline.
Mm-mm.
No, you can't.
Hey, let's say this one question to 15 seconds. They making them tough, man, and they. I'm glad they got that tackle in there, being more physical because they don't have to be tough, man, for this season. Go ahead, Ray.
So going. My next question is, this is a tough one because the media has gotten so, I mean, you'll hear somebody spinning to the left one day and then they're spinning to the right. So I guess depending on who you listen to, Dylan Gabriel sucks, Showdawg sucks, Kenny Pickett sucks. So are they just setting us up to get us another quarterback next year, or what we doing? Because I mean, I don't even know. To be honest with you, I don't even listen. I don't even listen no more.
But hold on. You're going to tell me, and hear me out on this real quick, that the Mannings are going to let Archie come to the Cleveland Browns?
They already turned. He's not coming out next year. They already canned that.
Plus, wait a minute. Deion said the same thing, and his son dropped to the 5th round. So I don't think the Manning, but then again, though, we know the Mannings will do that because they did it with
Eli.
And the Mannings are real tight with Haslam.
But they'll do that at the draft.
Yeah,
the Mannings do it at the draft. They say, "Yeah, well, he's not going to play for you, so you better trade him."
What made me so frustrated? Us fans that spend all this money going to the game, buying these tickets, buying beer. They always try and make it a waste of season. They should be focusing on what we're going to do today. We got 2 draft picks next year. Grossly saying none of those quarterbacks going to be there next year because I think Pickett's on a 1-year contract. Flacco's on a 1-year contract. So you're almost going to have to depend on the rookies. But, hey, it's just frustrating about that. They don't even need to be talking about next season. But, hey, man, we're going to have a quarterback that we're going to be able to use our 2 first-round picks for other positions.
Okay. So what you think, Chef?
I forgot my train of thought. What dang. I just was about to say something. What you just say, Tony? You just had a point I wanted to piggyback off of.
No, I'm saying they're talking about next. Go ahead, Ray. I
was just going to say, don't you hate when that happens, when you got it? And then it's like they keep talking, and then you don't have it.
So next year, like everybody keep talking about next year, this and that, like what people are failing to understand. I think people are taking this whole 2-time Coach of the Year title a little bit too much to the head because while his seat may not be hot right now, I don't think Kevin Stefanski's seat's hot right now. But I would be willing to bet this as well that if we had another 3-14 season, Kevin Stefanski's not making it back next year. So, like, to a certain extent, they have to be competitive as the very bottom. And competitive means you got to find a way to muscle out 4 to 6 wins to really have your job back next year. If we're sitting here at week 7, week 8, and we're 1-6 or 1-7, God forbid, please, that seat will be as hot as it's ever been, and then we're probably talking about Stefanski being gone before the season even ends at that point. So, yeah, it's cool to look into next year and all of this other stuff, but these guys are trying to, like, as much as we don't think they're trying to go out here and win right now, they have to at least go out here and win enough games to keep their jobs because another 3-win season, you're gone.
But can I tell you guys something too? The whole Coach of the Year thing, I don't I don't think it holds much weight, in my opinion. Especially in 2020 during that COVID year, you're playing teams that are missing their whole offensive line and stuff. Like you put an asterisk, you can put an asterisk next to that season for me because I can't count the wins in that season. I'm sorry. I was at a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just
my
me.
Opinion about it. My opinion about it. What messed them up last year, they switched their offense. They wanted to cater everything around Deshaun Watson and got away from Stefanski's offense. I mean, you saw him on the sideline not calling plays. He looked like a lost dog. Like, what am I going to do? So I'm glad they switched it back. I'm going to say this one point about Stefanski. Early in his career, when he would call plays, he would be so far away from the team so he could be single. And I'm glad he kind of moved it back in. And if you listen to talk, he is a good communicator as far as dealing with the press. And I think he really get those guys together. So hopefully, they can bounce back and get their quarterback going so they can get back on that winning ways again.
Unfortunately, that playoff win doesn't go to Kevin Stefanski. That goes to AVP.
Yeah.
He was in this basement now. Hold up. He was in this basement calling the plays.
Well, like people, let's say when's our bye week this year? When's our bye week?
No,
I think it's week 8, isn't it?
In the middle of the year.
So let's say we're 1-7 and he gets fired at the bye week. People are going to be like, you fired a 2-time coach of the year. I personally just don't think that holds weight because you know what? Give me Andy Reid and no coach of the year every damn day.
I think if they don't have like a 50% win when they go to London, and his chances of getting fired might be at that time.
He's got the best opportunity to prove to people that he can be the smartest guy. You got the one quarterback on this roster right now that has exceeded your expectation in your offense, and that's Joe Flacco. He's ran it better than Baker Mayfield. He's ran it better than Jacoby Brissett. He's ran it better than PJ Walker, DTR, Deshaun Watson. The list goes on. Joe Flacco thrived. We were averaging 300 yards a game. We were putting up 25 points per game. If he's going to show his ass, quote unquote, he's going to do it this year, and we're going to see a very, very smart Kevin Stefanski. And here's one thing that I will say, I may not be the biggest Kevin Stefanski guy, but I always give respect where respect is due. And there's a little bit of a miscue with the whole he doesn't know how to play calls or call plays. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think he can call good plays. It's just his situational awareness that really bugs me.
Touchdown!
That really bugs me. But he has a lot of guys on this roster that can create a lot of space, and Deontay Johnson, David Njoku, Harold Fannin, and Jerry Jeudy. So it's right into his play. It's right into his play style. You mix that with the fact that they're going back to the run first scheme. Like Stefanski should have his best year as a head coach this year.
Oh, you made Danny take his hat off now.
What you going to say, Danny? Here's my thought on it, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. None of you guys have ever coached in the NFL, correct? I've never coached in the NFL. But I guarantee if I walked into any bar where they're watching a football game and I asked everybody sitting on that stool, right? It's 4th and 1. We need to go for it. There's 3 minutes left. We're down by 4, right? If I asked every one of those, we need the first down. It's 4th and 1. Are you going to hand it off to Chubb or are you going to pass? I don't think anybody in that bar is not giving that football to Nick Chubb. And that's the stuff I don't understand about Stefanski. The empty backfield.
Well, you ask Pete Carroll, he might give you a different answer.
Yeah. Well, you know
what? Among all of us, we have watched so many games, NFL game. We are a good armchair quarterback. And we know you don't pass the ball on 4th and 1.
Yeah.
You run the ball.
But Anthony, Marshawn Lynch lets Pete Carroll know that he messed up that Super Bowl every time he gets interviewed. He doesn't say his name. He's like, I was just sitting on the sideline twiddling my thumbs, ready to go in the end zone, and I was told we're going to pass it.
There's rumors said that that the quarterback changed the play at the line of scrimmage.
No, they wanted to pass that ball. That whole moment was based on it's ego. Like, this league is based off ego, and while we don't think certain guys got them and they don't, They wanted Russell Wilson to be the face of their franchise, and Pete Carroll wanted to look like the smartest guy in the room. They wanted to pass that ball 100%. Unfortunately, Bill Belichick and them boys knew what they was doing, and they executed the play better.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, guys, I'm looking at the clock, and there goes our hour has come in. Man, that was a quick hour. I mean,
hey, you guys come up to PJ's. Chef Zay, I've messaged you on TikTok a few times. I don't know if you remember about PJ McIntyre's.
I remember. Yeah, as soon as you said the name, I knew exactly where. It's right off, kind of like by the freeway or the airport ish, right?
Rocky River Drive. Yep.
Yeah. I gotta pull up
Anthony,
here.
you guys come up. Showdawg's been up there quite a few times. It's a great bar inside, isn't it, Showdawg?
Up Sunday.
Yeah, I'll get the directions from him. I'd like to meet both you guys in person. This has been a pleasure, man. And hey, Chuck, you guys got some good knowledge about the Browns, man.
Oh,
we're doing a big London party up there. So if you guys want to stop up, come on up.
Oh, you're not going to London?
Nah, I can't go to London. Not now.
What's the reason?
I got 2 in private high schools.
Hey, say no more. Say no more. We understand. We understand. Yeah. Hey, guys. All jokes aside, I appreciate you guys. This was one of my better shows. Very professional. You were on time. And at the end of every show, what we know, go Browns.
Go Browns.